Hello, Algebra 2. Here's your first instructional video. We are still trying to figure out how to use a document camera and show our faces. So until we can figure that out, this is what you get. Good thing it's short. I'm looking forward to see you in class today. This is your first official mathematics pre-lesson. You can see that the first thing you need to do is watch this video. And then the second thing that you need to do is try to complete this lesson. We are trying to stay as organized as possible for you this year. You will notice when you click on the PDF in your game plan, it says lesson 1.1 and then analyzing functions. So unit 1, lesson 1, here we go. I'm gonna start this out for you, and then you are going to spend the next 20 minutes trying to complete it to get to class so we can discuss it. So first thing we have here is we have a race between 4 sisters. And as you can see, all 4 sisters have run this race a little differently. So as time goes by, I can see that 10 minutes is the length of the race. That's the only unit in here though. So I bet at some point I'm gonna throw maybe like a halfway mark in here. Maybe that would be 5 minutes, which means, you know, I don't know, maybe this is 3 minutes. You just have to do your best and use reasonable units. We've got distance depending on time. So distance of the race looks like it's gonna be 1,000 meters, which maybe this sister, I don't know, she probably starts out at about 500 meters or so. Again, just using logical points as you go through. So we've got these 4 sisters, and if they're anything like me and my siblings, they're pretty competitive. So question number 1 says, now that we've kind of made sense of our graph, our first question says, assume you're a sports reporter and you are covering this race. Let's say it's the Olympics or something. Write a short description of what happened, but be as detailed as possible using the given graph. Consider that the best sports reporting consists of what happens at the start, the middle, and the end. So, you know, I type these out myself because, you know, our textbooks aren't the greatest. So please make sure that you're reading everything because it makes a big difference. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to start describing this race. So because this is our first lesson, I'm going to start with maybe one of the tricky runners. So I know that you guys are looking at this PDF. We are not having copies this year. We don't have worksheets this year. So we all need to get used to this idea. All work for questions needs to be done on a separate piece of paper. So here comes your spiral notebook. I've got some loose leaf paper here that I'm gonna start this. I'm gonna be very organized. I hope that you guys are starting to get a little bit organized in terms of your classes. I hope you have something just for math. You'll notice that I'm starting your lesson for you. So if I were you, I'd pause the video, go get your paper, go get your pencil, go get your highlighters, anything you might need to get ready to go. That's the best part. I'm gonna go kind of quick because you can pause me. All right, here we go, lesson 1.1, and it looks like this is question 1. I am a sports reporter and I need to define the 4 sisters. I'm gonna start with this sister, and according to the key, I can see that that's Alberta. So I'm going to be very organized. I've got Alberta running the race. So let's think about the start of this race. Wait a second, the race starts at time 0, but Alberta does not start until 3 minutes into the race. So I would probably say something like, she started 3 minutes later than her sisters. So there's the start. Started 3 minutes later. Maybe she was late. Maybe she's lazy. We don't know. What about the middle of the race? How is she running the race? It looks to me, because I've got this line, that her pace does not change. She runs the same pace the entire time. So I would probably say she races at a constant, bringing us back to Algebra 1, a constant pace for the whole race. She doesn't stop, she doesn't fall, she runs at that constant race. And how long, when does it look like she finishes? I don't know, this is a vague graph. 5 minutes, 6 minutes, anything reasonable would make sense. It also looks like she finishes first. This sister finishes later. So she started 3 minutes late and she finished first. So here we go. She started 3 minutes later than her sisters. She races at a constant pace. So now we need that end description for our sports reporting. So I would probably say she finishes around 5 minutes into the race. Now, wait a second. That means that she ran this race in 2 minutes. Now, wait a minute. I'm no Olympian, but 1,000 meters in 2 minutes? She might be some sort of a superhero. Maybe she is. I might write that down. Superhero? Maybe that's why maybe she let them get a head start, because she knew she was just gonna blast right by them. So I've done the first sister. Your task is to finish the rest of the sisters. Remember, start, middle, end, as you try to describe the sisters. When do they start? How do they run? What happens? Think about pacing. And then you've got 3 other questions that I'm just curious about what you kind of remember. We're going to talk about this today, but do your best. See you in class. Get that paper going. Bye, guys. You're doing great.